Hi, everyone. Welcome to week 9 of our Fundamentals of College Writing course. In this video, I'm going to talk you through what we are doing in week 9 for Comp 0199. So let's see here. The main thing that we're doing is the second reflection workshop. Now, the first time around, I think some people there was a couple of confusion points of confusion that I noticed last time. The first one was with creative terms. People didn't really know what I was asking for there, which is understandable. I think I could have worded it a bit clearer. So I'm going to clarify that in this video, and I've also explained it a bit more in the instructions themselves. And then on top of that, some people completed what looked to be the whole worksheet, and now that part I don't really understand. I felt like the instructions were pretty clear about which sections you needed to do and how much you needed to do. But anyway, so we're doing 4 of these reflections workshops total. So for the first one, you did like a small chunk. This one, you're going to do another small chunk, and then we'll have 2 more after that. So if you've already completed the whole worksheet, I would go back to what you've written so far and just double check to make sure that it's meeting the instructions for this reflection workshop. So first, you're going to locate that reflections assignment template. That is under week 5. You should have downloaded that and saved it. If not, a blank document is here. So the blank template is right here. But you should also be able to go into where you submitted it under week 5, or go in through the gradebook and find that particular assignment and download what you submitted. Because we're just going to keep adding to the same document. You shouldn't have to start a new one. And as a reminder, you'll want to save that document when you're done. Save it to your computer or a flash drive or Google Drive or the cloud, wherever, just to make sure that you have it for when our third reflections workshop comes around. As a reminder, each workshop is going to ask you to fill out sections of the template and build on your previous work. At the end of the semester, you are going to submit the whole thing, which is going to be kind of your big final assignment for this class. Moving on to the main instructions here, you're going to add some more definitions to the template. Last time you defined 4 technical terms related to writing project 1 and 1 creative term related to your experience of the class so far. Now that was weird. Now that you have completed writing project 2 in Comp 1, you're going to have some more terms that you can draw on for this assignment. So maybe terms related to image analysis, media, gender, thesis-driven essays, any terms related to those things. Anything from the mini lectures that we had, or from the textbook readings. Lots of stuff is fair game. And so for this particular reflections workshop, you're going to define 2 more technical terms and 2 more creative terms. Each definition should be roughly 60 words. Make sure to link the term to your work in the course. When I read your definition, it should be clear to me how it reflects some aspect of either 0199 or 1100. For example, you might define what dismemberment means in the context of Kilborn's lecture, and then use an example of where you found this technique in an advertisement you discussed for writing project 2. Now, the creative terms is just an opportunity for you to be creative about the terms themselves. So it's different from defining technical terms. The creative terms just need to reflect something about your experience with our course. So they don't actually need to be about creativity themselves. So you don't need to choose like the word art, or what's something else that would work, like illustration. It just needs to somehow reflect your experience. So an example would be, If you've had trouble learning how to use a computer for an online class, or you've been having some trouble navigating Blackboard, one of your creative terms could be technology. And then your definition would explain, what is technology and also how does it reflect your time in our class. And then an important note here before we move on to the next section, you should be coming up with these definitions yourself. You are not just copying and pasting them from the internet. The next part here, you're going to add to your letter. So last time you wrote the first 100 words of a letter that you're going to be writing over the course of our term. So now you're going to add the next 100 words to that letter. The last section of the Reflections assignment template asks you to compose a letter to a future student. Based on your experience of 1100 and 0199 so far, and your work completing Writing Project 2, take a minute to add another 100 words to your letter. And as I just said, you should already have at least 100 words of advice from the last workshop that we did. And then the last section of this workshop, you're going to start a paragraph revision. So what you're going to do here, this is the second section of the Reflections assignment. It's labeled a paragraph revision. What you're going to do is begin by copying and pasting any short paragraph from either Writing Project 1 or Writing Project 2 into the second section of the Reflections assignment template under the section labeled Paste Original Paragraph here. Then you're going to write the same paragraph using different verbs and nouns whenever possible. And so I have an example here. I just did a sentence. I rewrote a sentence. Your paragraph should be about 4 to 6 sentences. So I chose this sentence here, this highlighted sentence, and I reworded it, changing the verbs and the nouns whenever I could. So my example, for this workshop, I'm only asking you to find one paragraph from either Writing Project 1 or Writing Project 2 and transferring it to the portion of the worksheet under Paste Original Paragraph here. So that's just a short little example, but hopefully that kind of clues you into what I'm asking for here. You're just taking a paragraph from Writing Project 1 or Writing Project 2 and then rewording it, changing the verbs and the nouns. This is a little bit of a kind of an exercise in just the revision process, and kind of forcing you to consider your word choice. And then you're going to submit that. That is due by 11:59 on Thursday. And then here's a little bit of a summary of everything that you should have done so far. So between workshop 1 and 2, this is all that you need to have done. Moving on, the last thing this week, you're going to make a discussion board post. As per usual, it's pretty straightforward. This is due Thursday night by 11:59. In the discussion board post, I want you to post what is your favorite creative definition. And that is it. If you have any questions or anything, be sure to let me know.